Hi, this is Vinney Chopra. Thank you for again joining on my podcast, Apartment Syndication Made Easy. As you know, I wrote that book, which is a top seller in Amazon. Internationally also got a lot of acclaim, reviews and all. And this podcast is about syndication, about commercial investing. I like to bring great guests for you and dig into their story, their successes, and find out some nuggets from them so that you could really enjoy them and learn from them and then implement them. All right. Hi, guys. This is Vinney Chopra from the Syndication Made Easy. Oh, my gosh. My second book is out now also in the hardcover. Positivity Brings Profitability. I hope you will find a copy. And of course, this one I wrote 2 years back, Apartment Syndication Made Easy. And this whole podcast I do is a sequence of that. I hope you're liking the material. Please give us 5-star reviews on iTunes. I read every review. And we can bring great guests. I'm so thrilled to have Ken Walls here today. Hi, Ken.
Vinney, I'm honored to be here.
Oh, no, it's all my honor, really, Ken. And, Walter, I appreciate you introducing, Ken. And he's the founder and CEO of digital marketing, web development, and social media company. I mean, every company needs that. Every business needs it. It's totally what we're going to talk about today. It's amazing, guys. So, let's get ready. And we're going to in 2017, you also wrote the book, Ken, right? The best-selling book, teaching people how to turn their lives and their businesses around by turning pain into profit. Oh my gosh, we'll dig into that, and you have also coached people on how to use technology and mindset to master their circumstances and start up or start over. I think this is going to be a great episode. There's so much I could talk about right here. You have so much, and you've been interviewed by so many great personalities. So give us a little bit background. You said you live you live in Columbus or north side of Columbus, but did you grow up there or how?
So I grew up in Ohio, Northwest Ohio, and I live about 45 minutes to an hour north of Columbus, Ohio, way out in the sticks. But I didn't grow up here. We ended up moving here because my wife's family is here and just some health things that they have going on. So we wanted to be close. And so that's where we are right now. And and I run everything from this right here, this desk, right where
this desk.
Yeah. This is my office.
I love it. I know, let's just kind of go back, how you started, into the digital marketing, and you've done very, very well. Please share, the starting and how it has evolved, as we look into now.
Well, I look back and, I'm 50, how old am I? 53. I'll be 54 in July. Mm-hmm. And I, when I was 11 years old, I bought my first computer. It was a Commodore 64C.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, do you? Yeah. So I had you wrote code for 3 days just to get a little ball to blip around on the screen. You backed it up to a cassette tape. And so I was always obsessed with computers and how they worked and just figuring things out. And so fast forward years later, I didn't graduate high school. I had a bit of a chip on my shoulder. So I just said, I'll figure it out. And I did, thank goodness. But I remember at about 20 or 21 years old, I was in a sales job and I remember thinking, man, I don't know anything about what I'm doing. I'm like a complete idiot out here. What am I doing? And so I heard somebody said, you need to buy a course or a book or something by Brian Tracy and Zig Ziglar.
Great mentors. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay. So I started listening to Brian Tracy. I actually have down here next to me. I'll just show you. Look,
look at that.
Psychology of Success.
I bought it too. Yeah. I bought it.
And this is the old CDs, but I had the cassette tapes. Yes. And I wore them out. Then I bought the CDs and here's the crazy part. And I'm going to skip around a little bit, but I have a podcast that's ranked in the top 1% in the world. And I literally just had Brian Tracy on my show. And it was it was like the pinnacle for me. Like I was like, now I don't know what, do I keep doing the show? I just had my hero but I am obviously so I remember I'm listening to that stuff and I'm listening to Zig Ziglar. And now I'm friends with all of Zig's kids, Tom, Julie, and Cindy, his 3 living children. They're good friends of mine. One's a client of mine. And I think back to the days when I was 20 years old, driving all over the state of Ohio and Findlay and Bowling Green and Toledo and all over the place, just selling the company I was working for. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I started listening to these courses and I had the books and I'm reading the books and I read these books I remember Brian Tracy saying he didn't graduate high school either. And it gave me gave me permission to be okay. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
It does.
Feeling, feeling insecure going around the world, feeling less than is not the way to have a successful life. And I something intuitively told me that, but I just remember Brian saying, he was a high school dropout and all these things. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's made it. So I can do it. If he can do it. And he said it, he said, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I'm like, wow, I wonder if he's talking about me. He must be talking about me, and here I'm just listening to,
I love it.
And so I remember hearing, Jim Rohn say, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune.
Yes.
Like your books and my books and everybody's books. Read them, buy them, read them, invest in yourself, because there's nothing more important. All of these books back here are not filled with millions of dollars in knowledge. Grant Cardone is a friend of mine and he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Hi, you are listening to Syndication Made Easy podcast. We will be right back after this short break.
Hi, thank you so much. This is Vinney Chopra, and thank you for subscribing to my podcast and YouTube channel and Facebook pages and all the great things, and LinkedIn. Connect with me. I come live to you every Friday at 9:30 Pacific with Vinney and Bo show. Please also look at that. And also the podcast, which is my apartment syndication made easy. The book I wrote a couple of years back became international top seller on Amazon International now. And then we like to bring great guests for you every week or twice a week sometime to give you a lot of great knowledge. So please subscribe. You give us 5-star reviews on the iTunes. The better the guests we can bring, and our ranking will go higher also. Thanks again for following us and really getting the most out of it. Please comment, like, share, because we would love to bring better and better material for you.
Grant Cardone is a friend of mine and he's a billionaire. Yeah. There's billions of dollars worth of knowledge in those books.
So true.
Read the books, invest in yourself and so I heard all of this and I said, you know what? I'm just an idiot that dropped out of high school because I had a chip on my shoulder. And now what is all my friends went to college and they come out of college making 40 or 50 grand a year. But I'll tell you what I did. I got into sales. I got into relationship development. I got into learning how to effectively communicate with other human beings.
Mhm.
And I smoked all my friends with college degrees and income. I did. Doctors included. I bought a doctor's house. Like so I truly believe that it's what Jack Canfield says in the book, The Success Principles, with Janet Schweitzer, that he wrote that book with. And the very first principle is take 100% responsibility for everything in your life.
Yes.
And when you do that and you take responsibility for your education, and you don't say, well, the government gave me a bad education. My mom and dad, they just didn't have enough money. And so I suffered. I didn't get it. Stop it. Stop blaming, take responsibility, and go after success on whatever scale you want. It's there.
So true. So very true. I'm so glad you talked about relationship building. Sales profession is a noble profession. I came from India with $7. I don't know. Some people might know. And I'm an engineer, mechanical engineer, but I came to do my MBA in marketing. But little did I know, when I went out there to sell books, I sold Bibles and books and all, door to door.
Wow.
And I just loved it. I said, you know what? I want to be in relationship business like you, Ken, what you just said. And every professional, entrepreneur is a salesperson. We got to communicate. We got to make sure that we are there and taking care of, we are the CEO of our life.
Yep.
Which you just said,
So true, man.
Yeah, so true. And
true.
We just cannot tell other people, this is not right, that's not right. It all boils down to us taking that step, taking that, like you said, reading books and podcasts, and like your, top podcast in 1% in the world. That's accolade. What's the name of your podcast? Please tell us.
Breakthrough Walls.
Breakthrough Walls. Guys, I want everybody to subscribe it right away. I'm going to do it myself.
Thank you.
I know there'll be great nuggets that you could all, get into. Let's get to, no, go ahead.
And if I'm, the nuggets are not from me. They're from my guests. I've had Mark Victor Hansen, Bob Berg, John David Mann from the Go Giver book series, the Grant Cardone, who else? Judge Ken Starr, who was a federal judge. So many
great
giant
personalities.
Rami Albatrawi, who's a billionaire in Beverly Hills and a good friend of mine now. All of these people that have come onto my show to share their knowledge. And because, and this, I know who you are. I know how well you've done in life, and you like to help other people. And that people don't understand. They think that, once you get to millionaire, billionaire status, you're untouchable. And that's just not the case.
Not true.
Every single one that I'm friends with, and I'm friends with a lot, not most, I will say 99.9% of my friends now are on the level that I aspire to get to, and that's multimillionaire and or billionaire status.
Sure.
And all of those people, every single last one of them has a deep desire to give back and help others.
Give back and help. Oh my gosh, that's so profound what you just said. A lot of time in our mind, we just rationalize and we say that, so and so won't be able to relate to us, but they will. They like to help out as we get higher and higher in the level, more approachable. No, that's so wonderful what you said. Let's talk about, your coaching, and you're doing so well in digital marketing. So give us some nuggets, why it's important, what we need to look into, and all that to do our personal branding, I say.
I think that one of the biggest challenges of my entire life was, and I've been in sales my entire life, but one of the biggest challenges for me to accept is that people in general, I'm not talking about everybody. Never am I going to be all inclusive. I'm just saying that people in general are afraid to make a decision on their own. And because maybe they don't want to take responsibility if it's the wrong decision, whatever it is, people are afraid to make decisions. That's where salespeople come in. And if you own a business and you don't think you're in sales, you should probably not own a business, because you are in sales. Period. I don't care if you're a dentist, a chiropractor, a surgeon. It doesn't matter what you do. You are a salesperson. And so acceptance is the answer to most of our problems, right? Because it all exists up here. So once you accept that, okay, I own a business, or I'm in sales, I'm a salesperson. Okay, then you can cross the next bridge. But the first bridge is you've got to accept that you're in sales. And for me, it took me forever, even though I was in sales, it took me forever to accept that people needed me to help them make a decision. That there's no such thing as high pressure. Like the high pressure people feel from salespeople is the thought of staying stuck without that product or service.
So true.
Or not being able to afford it. So they come up with all of these, reason they rationalize. So, when it comes to digital marketing, I'm getting to the point. I'm sorry. I took
This is good.
A long road.
No.
When it comes to digital marketing, so many people have a website that they're just using as a business card. And they're not, I'm friends with the people at ClickFunnels. The vice president of sales is a really good friend of mine. And Russell Brunson has a great saying, and that is, a confused mind will always say no. And so you see people that are like, well, if I just get a website and I put all my stuff on there that I do, and all about me and all about my family and all about my wife and all about all my employees, and people are going to come here and they watch Field of Dreams and they said, build it and they will come. So I built this giant website, spent $10,000 on it, and nobody buys from me. Why is that? Well, it's because you have too much, you vomited on your customer, right? So if I said to you, Vinney, you have, how many books have you written?
I've written 2 so far.
Two books. So
third one is coming.
Right. So what is it you want to sell? You want to sell books, right? So sell one book at a time. And that's where you start taking your digital marketing and you, with laser focus and intensity, you go, okay, I'm going to take book number 1 and I'm going to make it free, and they have to pay for shipping. And, Russell Brunson teaches all this. It works. It works. Or, use your websites and your digital marketing. Like I'm doing a webinar tomorrow at 3:00 in Eastern time. And I'm teaching people how to use social media. That's what I do. And so, I have people registering on a funnel page. That funnel page is not really a funnel. It's just hey, register here for the webinar so you can get into the emails and receive the email reminder that you're going to get on the webinar, right? That's it. But people don't think about things like that. They don't think about, well, my dental practice needs leads. It does need leads, right? And you've got to do something that separates you from all, because there's 400,000 dentists in the US. Like, what are you doing to separate yourself from everyone else? What makes everybody says, well, we have the best service. We're the best at customer service. Everybody else says that too. What's different? What are you doing that's different? And are you giving the customer reasons to say yes? Or are you throwing up roadblocks on your website with too many options to make them walk away going, I don't know what the heck to pick, so I'm going to pick nothing.
Yeah. So true, what you're saying. I mean, the thing is, those days, the past days where we put everything on the websites, those are gone. Those are gone. And also, I think we're going to dig into also the video, the streaming. I was going on your website and I read up so much great stuff. It's just mind-boggling. It's just you're just amazing. So share with us. Yeah. I mean, you said it, very good nuggets you just gave. You got to make it simple. You got to have a focused attack. If you want to sell one book or two, you want to get a lead into the newsletter, you might give a e-book or something, but keep it simple, stupid, KISS, right?
Sure, it's true. You're right. Again, it goes back to, I remember in 2014, I remember seeing Grant Cardone going live all the time on Periscope. And I was like, what is Periscope? I didn't even know what it was. And meanwhile, I had salespeople every day making excuses for not going out and knocking on doors, making excuses for not doing what they needed to do. And I was getting worn out with it and tired of it. And so, I heard about this Grant Cardone guy. I researched him. I got it. Spent $36,000 buying his sales training and all of this stuff. And then he kept saying, he was going live on Periscope, and he kept saying, you got to use this medium. You got to use this. You got to use this. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. I never told anybody, but I was terrified to go live. Terrified, scared to death. What if my ex-girlfriend shows up? What if just all the things, the fears, right? And then finally I just said, whatever, I'll deal with it. And I went live anyway. I do a lot of speaking all over the US from stages. And one of the things that I always bring up, and this was one of the only original thoughts I've ever had, was I thought about this, like, what if you're in the Bay Area, right? Or somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Bay Area.
So if I called you and I said, Vinney, this is Ken Walls. I represent ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox in the San Francisco market. And listen, we've been watching you. We love your content. We love it so much that we all got together. We decided we're going to give you the ability to run ads on all of our networks, all of them, anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We're going to let you do it. And Vinney, here's what it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you absolutely nothing. It's free. Would you tell me no? Would you say no to me?
Never. No,
because you would be the dumbest business owner of the year. Like, you'd be like, what? He said no to that? Why? So here's the thing though, Vinney. Facebook, just Facebook by itself. Facebook is 1,000 times bigger than all those stations combined in your local market.
Look at
1,000 times.
Oh,
and people ignore it. They don't go live on Facebook. They don't go live on YouTube. They don't go live on LinkedIn. They don't go live on Twitter. They don't go live on Twitch. They're not using all of these platforms. They don't go live. I was live last night. I was live on 10 different platforms. Plus I was live on TikTok at the same time. So like I was live in 11 locations all at the same time. And so
through StreamYard, right? StreamYard or Restream. I know my company, we use Restream, but you are using StreamYard.
Yeah, I use StreamYard.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, and so I think that